I'm sorry, I have no sound.
How's that? Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright?
Yes, present here. Hi.
Thank you. Trustee Adams. Trustee Broadhead.
Here.
Trustee Harris. Here. Trustee Parr. Trustee Schranz.
Here.
Mayor Whitlow, today is Monday, April 8th, 2024, and you do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Please join me in a moment of silence as we honor the 6 workers that tragically lost their lives in the Baltimore Bridge collapse last month. Our thoughts are with their loved ones and all victims of the work zone accidents. Thank you very much for your time. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as is?
I move to approve the agenda as is.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Mary.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Schranz.
Yes.
Trustee Broadhead.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright.
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes. Thank you very much. We have an agenda for this evening. Next is our staff report. Our town manager, Helen Mickelbrink, has submitted her report in the packet. Are there any questions or comments for staff tonight? Trish?
I'm hoping maybe Erica can answer my question since Helen's not here. So when are they going to restripe Adams Avenue at County Road 7 where they screwed it up? Like, it's been like that for so long. Are we going to hold them, make them do it at some point, or do they just have an indefinite amount of time to fix that?
Yes, they do need to do that, and it's tied. We've said they can't get a CO on the houses that are under construction there until it's completed.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something then. Okay. And you may know the answer to this too. So they really nicely striped all of that intersection at 66 and County Road 7. Are they no longer going to work on that and make that wider? Like, why did they do all that really nice, pretty striping if they were not done? I thought they were adding turn lanes, or at least a turn lane one direction. Did that change?
So the Mead Place development has work that they need to do. Originally, it was intended that that would have happened prior to the state project, but because they haven't advanced their development, that was not completed. So the state project was really just to add the signal. And it will accommodate future turn lanes, but those have to be constructed by Mead Place.
Okay, because I thought that was happening like now with the current stuff they were doing,
Yep.
but it got delayed.
Yep.
Because Mead Place is delayed.
Yes.
Okay, well, that would explain why it's all pretty striped now, and I was so confused. So that's all. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright, do you have any questions or comments for staff? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to our proclamations tonight. The first one is our United Power 85th Anniversary Proclamation. This first proclamation is just for that. We are proud to participate in and be a part of this celebration tonight. Do our friends from United Power have anything to say before we read this proclamation? I would turn it over the podium to you, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you, Mayor Whitlow and trustees and staff. This is the 85th anniversary of United Power, and as a cooperative, we're very proud of that. And in our exuberance, we've asked for this proclamation just to let it be known and to invite each of you to our annual meeting, which will be April 17th at the Adams County Regional Park. And we would love very much for you to be there. And having gotten to this point, United Power is very proud and pleased to be to serve the the town of Mead and to hold our franchise agreement. And I enjoy working with staff. We have a few issues we work on often, and sometimes they are kind of challenging for us, as well as striping highways and streets and things like that. But it's been my pleasure over decades to be standing right here and to be in the town, working, to be in the park on Saturdays, representing United Power in the community events. So I haven't quite been here 85 years, but about half that time. And so I hope to continue to do that. And thank you very much for indulging us with this proclamation.
Bill, will you introduce your guest tonight?
I will. My guest tonight is Brian Blem. Brian is the, if I get this title right, the director of, well, our key accounts program and key account businesses. And he's my immediate supervisor as well. And this is not his first visit. We've had Brian here and met with Helen on some of these issues I spoke about earlier.
All right. Well, thank you very much for both of you to be here tonight. And I've asked Trustee Schrantz to read the proclamation. And after that, we'll get a photo together. All right.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Herman.
Thank you, Bill.
Proclamation, United Power 85th Anniversary. Whereas United Power celebrates 85 years of providing cooperative electric service and residential, agricultural, and business members along Colorado's Northern Front Range this year, and whereas the rural electric movement prompted to action the innovative and pioneering spirit that built United Power, the locally owned, not-for-profit electric cooperative powering our community and its residents. And whereas United Power has remained steadfast in its dedication to providing reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity to our citizens, contributing significantly to our region's growth and prosperity. And whereas the 85th anniversary of United Power symbolizes the remarkable milestone in our shared history, illustrating the hard work, vision, and dedication of its founders, leaders, employees, and members who have contributed to the success and the positive impact on the lives of our citizens. And whereas the cooperative principles guiding United Power, which emphasize democratic member control, member participation, and community engagement, have fostered a spirit of collaboration with the town of Mead. And whereas United Power has been a longstanding and trusted energy advisor, offering resources and rebates to local citizens to help them save energy and supporting local businesses with their unique energy needs. And whereas the electric cooperative continues to innovate and adapt to meet the evolving needs of our community, embracing new technologies and practices to enhance efficiency, resilience, and environmental stewardship. And whereas the town of Mead and its more than 2,800 meters being served by United Power have benefited from the values of cooperation, stewardship, and community engagements. Now, therefore, Colleen Whitlow, Mayor, does hereby recognize and congratulate United Power on its 85th anniversary, celebrating the milestone and express our gratitude to the electric cooperative for its enduring contributions to our community. Given under her hand and seal of the town of Mead on the 8th day of April 2024.
Thank you, Herman, very much for reading the proclamation. Is there a motion to approve the signing of this proclamation?
I will motion to approve the signing.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Mary.
Trustee Broadhead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright,
Yes.
Trustee Schrantz,
Yes.
Trustee Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries. We'll take just a short break and we'll take a photo with Bill and Brian and we'll be right back. Thank you very much. We're back in our regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. The time now is 6:12 and I will resume the meeting. As we look forward to our High Plains Library plans for Mead, we we will proclaim this and celebrate library now. I've asked trustee Broadhead to read the proclamation tonight.
Proclamation, National Library Week, April 7th through 13th, 2024. Whereas libraries offer the opportunity for everyone to connect with others, learn new skills, and pursue their passions no matter where they are on life's journey. And whereas libraries have long served as trusted institutions, striving to ensure equitable access to information and services for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. And whereas libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, developing and expanding collections, programs, and services that are as diverse as the population they serve. And whereas libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connection, advancing understanding, civic engagement, shared community goals. And whereas libraries are treasured institutions that preserve our collective heritage and knowledge, safeguarding physical and digital resources for present and future generations. And whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. And now, therefore, Colleen Whitlow, Mayor, do hereby designate National Library Week, April 7th through 13th, 2024. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit a library and celebrate the adventures and opportunities unlocked for us every day. Ready, Set, Library, given under her hand and seal of the town of Mead, Colorado, on this 8th day of April, 2024.
Thank you very much, Deb. Is there a motion to approve the signing of this proclamation?
I will motion to approve the signing.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Mary.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright,
Yes.
trustee Broadhead,
Yes.
trustee Strands,
Yes.
trustee Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes. Thank you very much for reading the proclamation. The motion carries. All right, the statistics of workers killed in work zones each year is tragic. This brings us to our next proclamation of Work Zone Awareness Week of April 15th through the 19th of this year. It takes each of us to take a moment to slow down and be aware of these workers. I will be reading this proclamation tonight. National Work Zone Awareness Week. Whereas National Work Zone Awareness Week is an annual spring campaign held in the start of construction season to encourage safe driving through streets, roads, and highway work zones. Whereas National Work Zone Awareness Week is a way to raise public awareness for work zones and those who work in them, and that motorists are encouraged to slow to posted speed limits, eliminate distractions while driving, and be watchful for roadway workers, their equipment, and vehicles on the side of the road in work zones. And whereas the theme for 2024 National Work Zone Awareness Week is work zones are temporary. Actions behind the wheel can last forever. And whereas lost my place. Whereas according to the National Work Zone Safety Information Clearinghouse in 2021, there were 874 fatal crashes in the United States work zones, up from 780 in 2020. And whereas on average, more than 2 persons per day were killed in work zones in 2020. And whereas the town of Mead strives to keep all employees and all the public safe during road and street repairs in work zones. And whereas solutions to keeping everyone safe in work zones and on our roadways is a collective responsibility. And therefore, I, Colleen G. Whitlow, Mayor, do hereby designate April 15th through the 19th, 2024 as National Work Zone Awareness Week. And I encourage all residents to slow down and stay alert. All right. Is there a motion to approve the signing of this proclamation?
I move to approve the signing of this proclamation.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Mary.
Trustee Harris,
Yes.
trustee Strands,
Yes.
trustee Broadhead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright,
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes. Thank you very much. Motion carries. We'll move on to our last proclamation of the night. I'm happy to say that Mead is again receiving our Tree City, United States, America designation. I've asked Trustee Harris to read the proclamation. Ma'am?
Mead Arbor Day, April 26, 2024. Whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed in Nebraska with the planting of more than 1 million trees, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our town increase property values, enhance economic viability of business area, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy, wonder, and renewal. And whereas Mead is committed to making the planting and care of trees a priority. And whereas Mead has been recognized as a 2023 Tree City USA by the Arbor Day Foundation. Now therefore, Colleen Whitlow, Mayor, does hereby proclaim April 26, 2024 as Mead Arbor Day, given under her hand and seal of the town of Mead, Colorado on this 8th day of April, 2024.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the signing of this proclamation?
I'll move
I'll
to
move to approve the signing of the proclamation.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Broadhead,
Yes.
trustee Harris,
yes.
trustee Shranz,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright,
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. We're going to take a short break again, pause for a photo, and we'll be right back. Our meeting of the Board of Trustees, and the time now is 6:20, and I will resume the meeting. Next is our public comment period. The board welcomes public comment for any item on the agenda. We will take comments for items not on the agenda during the second public comment, number 9. The board will listen to your comments and take them into consideration. If you desire conversation, please email the board or town manager or attend the monthly coffee with the mayor. If you wish to speak during this public comment period, please adhere to the town's general guidelines. Please start by stating your full name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the Board of Trustees. If you're representing a group, you will have 5 minutes. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to speak to the public, the Board of Trustees during this public comment period? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to our consent agenda. The consent agenda contains items which are considered routine and are approved with one motion and vote. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I will move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please, Mary.
Trustee Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright,
Yes.
trustee Shranz,
Yes.
trustee Broadhead,
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes, thank you very much. Motion carries. Thank you to staff for moving all of these things forward, and look forward to having the coolest thing probably is the community center design here soon. So thank you very much. We'll move on to our second public comment period of the night. This brings it to this second regular public comment period. This comment period is for any item, whether it is on the agenda or not. All of the other guidelines previously stated are applied. Would anyone like to comment at this time? Okay, seeing that, we'll move on to our legislative update, and I'll turn the floor over to our town attorney, Marcus Muscaskin.
Thank you, Mayor Whitlow, members of the Board of Trustees. So tonight, again, just as a reminder, the legislature convened this year on January 10th, and they are scheduled to adjourn on Wednesday, May 8th. So we're about 75% through the 120-day legislative session. At the last regular board meeting, the board adopted resolution numbers 29, 30, 31, and 32. Those were 4 resolutions that opposed 4 specific pieces of legislation, specifically the Transit-Oriented Communities Bill, a bill that is aimed at eliminating minimum parking requirements. That's House Bill 24-1304, House Bill 24-1168, and also the accessory dwelling unit bill, House Bill 24-1152. I do not have any specific updates related to those four pieces of legislation. It's my understanding that those are all still in appropriations. With respect to the transit-oriented communities bill, that was heard by the House Finance Committee on March 25th. It's my understanding that that bill is still, in its current form, is still withholding the Highway User Tax Fund, or the HUTF revenues, but that's an amendment that I believe is still being worked on. But it's my understanding that the withholding of the HUTF funds remains in the current draft of that bill. A couple of other items that I'd like to highlight for you tonight. Other pieces of legislation of note, and again, there's hundreds of pieces of legislation that are working their way through both houses at this point. But a couple of things of note. I think I mentioned at the last meeting that the what's referred to as the long bill had been introduced, and that's the state budget bill. So after hours of debate and more than 80 amendments offered, the Senate passed the long bill this past Friday on April 5th. My understanding is that the long bill has also been passed by the House. So that now heads to a joint budget committee or a conference committee to hash out those 80 amendments and create a balanced budget for the state. One other bill of note is House Bill 1366. This is the Sustainable Local Government Community Planning Bill. This will be heard in the House Local Government Committee tomorrow, Tuesday, April 9th. As drafted, the bill requires that by January 1 of 2025, a local government must include a climate action element in its master plan if the community updates its comprehensive plan or master plan. So as the town is scheduled to embark on a master plan update, if this bill goes into law, this is something that the town of Mead would end up complying with. The climate action element must include climate-related goals, plans, or strategies related to reducing greenhouse gas pollution, and requires reporting on specific climate-related actions. The bill further requires that all state agencies to prioritize awarding grants that meet the broad criteria established in the bill. It's my understanding that CML has offered some amendments to this bill, but that strike below amendment has not yet been given to CML for evaluation. So I will provide updates to you as we move through the balance of the session. One other bill that I noticed this morning that I wanted to bring to your attention is House Bill 24-1413. This was introduced in late March as a budget orbital bill, and you might say, like I did this morning, I'm like, well, what is a budget orbital bill? So an orbital bill is a bill that proposes a policy change to the state budget process. The long bill itself, or the budget bill, cannot create or include policy changes. So what this bill does is it moves approximately $25 million away from the local government severance tax fund to the general fund, with those funds being earmarked to be used to pay for the governor's housing bills, specifically House Bill 2413 and House Bill 24-1152, and to fund higher education. CML and other local government stakeholders are opposing this budget orbital bill because the movement of the state severance tax dollars to fund other priorities at the state level may result in those funds not being available for other grant opportunities. And the town of Mead has obtained some of the grants the town has been successful in obtaining over the past few years have been funded out of that state severance tax fund. So again, we'll watch that, but that bill was heard and passed on third reading last week on April 1st, and it passed with no amendments. Let's see, one other bill that I'd like to highlight. And this is a bill that has already been signed into law. This is Senate Bill 24-058. This is a bill that has to do with landowner liability and the use of recreational warning signs. So this bill came in response to a 2019 lawsuit, Nelson v. United States, in which a bicyclist injured while riding on the U.S. Air Force Academy sued the Academy and won a $7 million award for damages. And this resulted in many private landowners who had previously allowed recreational use on their land shutting down public access, including a number of private landowners that have primary access to some of Colorado's 14ers, including Mount Lincoln and Mount Democrat. So this bill updates the Colorado recreational use statute to protect landowners from personal injury lawsuits. And how this may impact the town is that, there will be ultimately an interplay between the Colorado Governmental Immunity Act and this Colorado recreational use statute. And the town may end up wanting to, this bill does require the posting of additional warning signs. And if those signs are posted, and if there's photographic evidence that those signs have been posted, it's an additional defense to liability. So we'll probably adopt a wait and see approach on this, because I'm sure the town's insurer, CIRSA, will come out with some guidance on how best to make sure that we're in compliance with this new bill. But that's really all I have for you tonight. Happy to stand for any questions, but my main update is that those 4 pieces of legislation that you adopted resolutions opposing, there's really no update. Those are still all tied up in appropriations currently.
Thank you, Marcus. Questions or comments for Marcus tonight? Herman?
Do we know if any other communities have taken the opposed viewpoint like we did? Or I know last year with 213, there was over 500 communities in the state that charged it. Do we know if other communities are taking a position?
That's a great question. I know that on a number of these, many local government representatives have been attending the hearings and offering testimony in opposition to the bills. I'm not immediately aware of whether other jurisdictions have adopted resolutions at this point, but that's something that's very easy for me to find out, and I can definitely ask the CML lobbying group.
Yeah. It's a curiosity. The strength in numbers, right?
Right. Yeah. My assumption is that the answer is yes, but I don't have a specific answer or a number for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright, do you have any questions or comments for our town attorney?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marcus, very much. All right, moving on to our elected official reports. Any of the town trustees have anything for tonight? Okay. All right. I just want to say thanks very much for the shredding event that TBK and our Mead Police Department put on this last Saturday. I read in social media 6,000 pounds. Chief, is that correct? Lorelei, 6,000 pounds that we decided to recycle and shred. So thank you very much for everyone that came out to do that on such a warm morning. So anyway, not really, it was really cold. Also, thank you for the folks that do come with coffee with the mayor. Thank you folks for enlightening and have a great conversations. It's every first Saturday of the month that we have a great conversation of whatever we want to talk about. Mary, thank you very much for providing the coffee and donuts for all of us. I want to remind everybody that the free tree voucher, and let me get the dates right because I messed that up too. April 20th, you'll pick up a voucher here, right? And you will pick up your tree on the 26th out at Public Works, correct? Correct. That's all on their website underneath the Community Arbor Day webpage. Next is our community open house, and I hope this is passed through to every household in this town and Mead businesses and surrounding areas that our open house will be on 22nd April from 6 to 8 PM. It's open to as many people as want to come and find out all the projects that are happening around in this Mead area. It's from 6 to 8 PM. It'll be a Public Works facility. I also want to mention that we do put out a lot of information through the town manager's report, the Mead Messenger, and of course, the mayor reports that once a month for each one. The town manager's report goes out every time the packet goes out. So I want to make sure that everybody understands how much effort is put into not only Lorelei's department, but Helen's department and all the departments that put their information out for the residents and Mead businesses. So, am I missing anything, Mary? Lorelei, anything coming up? Cleanup day vouchers are going to be, they can, April 22nd. You can, yep. All right. Hopefully everybody heard that. I just want to say thank you to all the folks that are listening online and with us in the room today. We appreciate, even though there's a few trustees that are not with us tonight, we hope that Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright feels better and that we will see everybody on the 29th. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Trance.
Yes.
Trustee Broadhead.
Yes.
Trustee Parr, Mayor Pro Tem Cartwright.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Mayor Whitlow.
Yes. Thank you very much. The April 8th, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Trustees now is adjourned at 6:35. Thank you very much for all attending. Please drive home safely. Thank you very much.